Alright, welcome to another episode of Krosmatch Chat with me, Josh Hipsher. Okay, so this week is going to be a little different. First and foremost, I have a new announcement. I'm going to be going to audio, which means that things with Krosmatch Chat are going to be changing. Does not mean that I'm going to disinclude or not include any visuals in the future, because obviously I'm still going to post the videos. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it be more geared towards the actual conversation or description of different things in Krosmaster, rather than a lot of pauses and a lot of waiting around. Not the best viewing experience for the user. So, as of today, this is the first official Krosmatch and Chat podcast release as well. What I'm going to be also doing is I'm also going to be releasing all this information, everything that you hear from me on this YouTube channel. I'm also going to be releasing it on SoundCloud. I'll put a link to there, and you'll be able to listen to every single episode when you're driving around, or walking around, or when you're in your bed. You don't have to have YouTube open. You don't have to keep it open. You can do things normally. Still listen to the conversation without having to watch any games. I might, if I have time, be able to play matches while we record the episodes while viewing the matches together. But to save on time, I doubt that's going to be the norm. As of this week, I'm by myself, and I'm going to be just going through some of the changes with Krosmaster 2.0. Specifically, from the perspective as someone who purchased the game, the new Krosmaster 2.0 French expansion, as one of the limited 1,000-piece runs that Ankama was selling, and had it delivered to my house. So I personally bought it, and am really, really stoked. And then I went through, and I went piece by piece with the information that I had via Google Translate, and I just explored what the different things meant as far as some of the French words, and also kind of discovered what some of the new rules were, as well as checked out some of the figures as well. I also had a lot of help from Patrick Falsanaya, I think Falsanaya. I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name because I am horrible at speaking French, Spanish, and really anything besides English, because I did not mind my school teachings. But that's okay now because I have Google Translate, and we live in a very electronic world, so don't have to worry about it. But if you see Patrick out there, he's really, really great. He's really wonderful, really nice, and he helps a lot. He loves Krosmaster, just like everyone who I ever come in contact with. So definitely, if you see him out there, be sure to have a conversation with him online. He'll definitely give you loads and loads of information. So, first and foremost, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and explain the new rules with Krosmaster 2.0. You have Krosmaster 2.0, came with a complete new set of demonic awards, new characters based on the movie Dofus, based on the world Dofus, set in the city of Bonta, which is a huge, booming city in the Dofus world. One of the most notable changes was the new lock and dodge. Basically, it's this whole technique of, or this whole idea of grappling, where it doesn't just make you immobilize, which doesn't make you lose all of your movement points and all of your action points. You still have a chance to potentially do some attacks, especially when thinking about combining that with some of the techniques, which I'll talk about later. So, with lock and dodge, what's going to work? It's going to work similar to how most things work now, where it's all based on the number of dice that you roll and how many dice over, matching, or under you are. If you end up winning out your dodge like you normally would, if you have more dodge dice as than your partner, so say if you roll a dodge and your opponent rolls whatever, not a lock, then you get to walk away free. One thing that's changing specifically about this is if you roll a dodge and your opponent rolls a lock, then you immediately lose one action point and one movement point for the current turn. And if you have any remaining movement points, you move away using a movement point like normal. So you lose an action point, lose a movement point, and you move away with one movement point, or using a movement point. The last one is, and this is the big change that really could be beneficial with a lot of different characters, especially when thinking about the different demonic awards and different abilities that people have, is if your opponent beats you completely and has more locks than you do dodge, you immediately lose 3 action point and 3 movement point for the current turn. Again, if you still have a movement point after that, you will move, but if that -3 movement point makes it so you lose that, your character's challenge, basically your character loses all those movement points and you're unable to move. So it doesn't mean you necessarily can't move, but you can move if you have remaining movement points left. Another thing that's going to change is the purchasing of GGs with your commas. And also with rolling tension, how that's going to affect GGs as well. First off, purchasing GG with commas, instead of it costing 10 commas to get a GG, it's going to cost 12. So that means it's going to be a little bit harder for you to collect and end up getting those commas. What's going to be really changed, what's really interesting, is rolling tension. What's going to happen is rolling tension is going to be make it so you cannot lose the game by running out of GG on your turn if you don't want to, even if you roll doubles. How it's going to work is, in this specific case, is if you roll 2 dice and you get doubles, or if you get anything you don't want, what you can do is you can disregard those and roll 1 die, and you have to keep it at that point. So, for instance, say if you, outside of the losing a GG, if you really want a critical die, and you don't get it with those first 2 rolls, you can use that second die roll to re-roll that die and try to get a critical. If you don't, you can still sell it for 1 comma, but it just makes it so it gives you an extra chance, or it makes it so you don't lose by just dumb luck. Additionally, and I'm not sure about the translation on this, and someone would have to correct me or figure this out, because I didn't see this covered in what Patrick was saying, but it looks like if you have the same symbol at all, example that they give is the dodge/critical, and a critical die, no matter what, you automatically lose a GG. So I'm not sure if this is completely correct. Again, the translation issues are a little bit off, and I didn't cover that with Patrick, but I do know that it's a little that's how it was translated. Mind you, Google Translate is not perfect, so don't necessarily quote me on that. Now, we also have a new set of demonic rewards that are going to be making things a lot less power hungry. Like you're going to be losing things like Stasis Crystal and Yop Style and things like that. You are going to be kind of incorporating some of the things with Season 2, like the principles like strength and trying to get you into extra dice in that way. It's also going to kind of incorporate some new things, like you can also have prospecting on there, and agility, and some of the new things that you don't really get to don't see in the base set. There's also one thing that's really cool that is kind of changing things up a little bit, but it makes it so things cost less money in the demonic rewards overall. Maybe not less money overall, but you don't have the 12 pointers that are going to be sticking out there, and you don't have to spend 12 points for any of the demonic rewards, no matter how powerful they are. What I mean by that is they have now that have a new organization of things. They have 3 stacks of 3-pointers that are going to be in order. Basically, like you would the old one, instead of 2 stacks, you're going to have 3. They're going to have 2 stacks of the 6-pointers, or the Jade, if you would. And then they're going to have 1 stack of a new thing called Silver, or the 9-pointers. And what's going to change with that is you're still going to reveal 1 of each stack, or each color, or each point value on the beginning of the second player's first turn. Then you're going to reveal a second from each stack. So you'll then have at that point during the first player's second turn, you'll have 2 3-pointers visible, 2 6-pointers visible, and the 1 silver pointer visible, or 9-pointer visible. And then finally, in the second player's second turn, you'll reveal the final stack, flip one over from the final stack of the 3-pointers. So kind of stretches it out, makes it so the thing, at least just one extra thing that gets revealed. It's not as much of a I don't know. It could be beneficial for it being laid out like that. As far as the train goes, you have the bags, which are like bushes. The stalls are just that look like you're basically like tourist shopping type things. Those are like trees, and boxes are like well, boxes. So those are pretty simple. Demonic rewards also have this new thing that's coming out on top of incorporating these new kind of techniques of different things. Or these new demonic wards that aren't as powerful. They also have specifically this great thing called techniques. They have 8 techniques. They are all 3-point demonic rewards. And first and foremost, the coolest thing about them is they actually decrease the cost of your punch spell. Every single character, every single Krosmaster has a 5-point punch, and so it reduces every single time you put a technique on there. The technique stays there for the rest of the game. It reduces the cost of the punch by 1, so it could reduce it all the way down to the cost 0. So that's a really wonderful thing. Not only that, but also they give an example that you can stack. No matter how many techniques that you have, you can stack unlimited amount of techniques. Obviously, that you're able to because there's only 8 in the game, but you can stack a bunch of techniques on a single character. And what's really cool about that, it does not exclude level 1 Krosmasters from this. So you can, it gives the example of a level 1 Krosmaster can have on her 3 activated techniques at the same time, and in addition to that, also another demonic reward. So it's kind of cool that you can actually have unlimited amount of techniques and a demonic reward on a level 1 Krosmaster. Of course, the Jaw excluded because he's a level 0 once he hits the game, and you cannot apply to him any demonic rewards. But it's really cool. As far as what those different techniques do, you have one that has the 1 to 4 range in a straight line that it gives your punch. So instead of it being an adjacent kind of melee attack, it gives you a range attack that, of course, you can't change it. You can't add additional range to it, but it does have that 1 to 4 range. It also gives you, in addition to that, a shovel effect, souffle, or breath area effect called souffle. That's the dragoon technique. There's also the glee technique, which basically increases the damage by 1 colorless damage, but you lose the remaining movement points. Similar to that of, say, Krosmaster, except that it doesn't stack. You just get 1 extra damage, but lose all of your movement points, remaining movement points. It doesn't make it cost movement points, so you can, of course, move, similar to like that of Build Tell. More so than anything, but you do lose the remainder of it. You also have this one called the mosquito technique, which basically makes it so you heal 1 damage marker. Then you have the Prespic technique, which means that you lose 1 action point, but you also make the target lose an action point. And you also have the Snoofle, or Snoofle, which if you watch the show at all, which this soundtrack is from, that's the pet of the Rule Shroud, and is often the pet of many a Trough, which makes sense because it steals 1 comma from the target, similar to that of King Nidus and what he does. There's also the weapon technique, which immediately gains a movement point, and the Booth 2 technique, which immediately gains an action point. So those are the 8 techniques. Really wonderful, really great additions. It's really awesome. In addition, there are a couple of new things as far as in the realm of powers go. The first one is you'll see Crafter. It's kind of changing a little bit for the new set. It still costs 0 action points for the first thing you buy, In addition to that, as far as the cost goes, it's three commas for the granite, like normal, 5 commas for the 6-point demonic rewards, and 7 commas for the 9-point comma rewards. So it's kind of a little different than the previous one. In addition, there's also a new power called Tupiti, which means that the unit cannot be affected by the blocking rules. It does not tackle and cannot be tackled. So that's kind of an awesome new power that I see. There's also, as far as just for wording goes, so if you picked up the copy, a French copy, so you know that what it means. The only power that's a little bit hard to understand is insensible or insensible. Again, sorry about my French. That means unfazed. Again, if you have any questions about unfazed, it just means literally the same thing that it means in English. So then there's the, as far as area effects go, just so you know, French to English. The first one is Pele, which means shovel, area effect. The second one is baton, which means staff. There's morteau, which means hammer. There's souffle, which means breath. There's aiguille, which means needle. There's croix, which means cross. And carré, which means square. This is really bad for me to say because I do not speak French at all, but I hope you can understand it a little bit. As far as the characters go, I'm not going to go into the characters at all. I just wanted to go into the rule changes and make it a little bit easier for you to understand in case you're going through this and want to write these down or figure out what means what. Again, if you have any questions, you can feel free to email or contact me. Reach me out on Facebook. Just comment on the video or the podcast. But in the future, I'm definitely going to have more people on. I just wanted to kind of give an intro to Krosmaster 2.0 and kind of do a quick overview of the new powers and new changes that are coming. I'm really excited about the 2.0 and what it's going to mean for the world. People online are already raving about it, having a blast with the team combinations that people can come up with. And I'm really stoked to see what it's about. One thing that I would suggest is kind of just being open to some of the new possibilities, rather than just staying inside the box of trying to use Henuel with a 7 action point character and with a 3 action point attack. Kind of just think of new ways you can kind of move things around and kind of heal things and affect things in different ways, and really just challenge yourself to come up with new ideas for this new set. Yeah, I'll be really stoked to head out to the Great Lakes Challenge. I hope you can make it. It's this Sunday in Toledo. We've already been talking about it on the YouTube show. And then after that, a week after it, in Columbus, Ohio, I'm going to have a pizza shop takeover where we're going to be going over to Mikey's Late Night Slice, and we're going to be having ourselves some awesome pizza and playing some awesome Krosmaster. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to me. Hope you enjoyed this. I hope you liked my background with my favorite Krosmasters that I can never play, and one specific Black Crow that is just because it looks awesome. But yeah, it was great seeing you guys. I hope you have a great time. Be awesome to each other, and thanks for listening to Krosmatch and Chat with me, Josh Hipsher. Catch you later, folks.